Hello everybody and welcome to another video! Today we're going to be talking about trans joy. So, us being trans people, we usually have a bit of a harder time in life, but we also have really good times in life. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today is like some of the good times that I've had and some of the good feelings that I've had through transitioning, because things have been a bit down in the dumps lately and I want to talk about the good stuff, you know? So, it can kind of feel complicated feeling joy as a trans person because it feels like a lot of the times you have eyes on you at all times. I've kind of become more spiteful over time because I'm just like, I don't want to have people's opinions and like looking at me. I don't want that to have like control of my life and stuff. So I become kind of spiteful in that sense to where I flaunt my stuff in public no matter what. I mean, except if it's not safe, then, that's a different story. Always keep safety in mind, because if it's not safe to, be your true self, yeah, that comes first. And also, being joyous as a trans person can actually be pretty rebellious, which actually kind of feels awesome. It's like, you get to see the bigots squirm. You get to see them squirm. And it's a lot of fun. And honestly, just knowing, like, if I get like a look at me, or if somebody looks at me like weird, or if they kind of give me the side eye or something, I'm just like, what's up? Hey, yeah, I'm wearing a skirt. I'm wearing thigh highs. I'm wearing whatever I want. In Daisy's case, she wears a tail. It's like, what's up? Hey, yeah. Skirt goes spinny, spinny, skirt goes spinny, spinny, right in their face. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, I'm going to talk about some of the times that I've experienced joy as a trans person. So I still remember my first time going out to a store in full femme. Honestly, it just included me wearing a skirt and a little bit of makeup, and maybe not even makeup, I don't know, but I went out in a skirt, and I still remember being like super nervous, like going through the store. But I did make it into a bit of a game. I went in there. I was also challenging, like, I always think that people's, like, eyes are on me and stuff. Like, people are always watching me and judging me, especially back then. So I made a game out of it. I decided I was actually going to look at the people around me, not stare, but look at the people around me and see how many people give me a side eye and see how many people are, like, rude to me or whatever the case is. Throughout the entire store experience, there was only two notable events. One was what looked like a soccer mom kind of giving me that weird look because she has her kids there with her. She kind of gave me a weird look as I went by, but nothing else happened. And then I just kept shopping about and doing my own thing. And then I went to the electronics section. I think I was like getting a charger cord or something. I don't know. And this one older dude was actually being pretty nice to me, but in kind of a weird way, or could have, I don't know. I think they were just being nice, and maybe I was just being a little bit judgmental. Yeah, it was kind of a weird interaction, but they're still nice to me, so hey, I'll take it. And then nothing else happened. And I still remember telling my partner about it, like, yeah, nothing really happened. Like, nobody really cared at all. People were just like, meh, just big meh energy. All around, just meh. And most people were just in their own heads the entire time. Like, they didn't really pay attention at all. Like, they were just shopping, not paying attention to the people around them, which was a shock, but awesome in any case. Some other times that I've, like, usually every time I go out and I do something fun, there's always some sense of anxiety that I feel. It was more so back then than it is now, because I actually go out every day as femme. Anytime I go out, I'm usually presenting some sort of femme, whether it's makeup or clothing or whatever. I'm still going out there being me, Jenny. But I remember I actually went jogging in full femme. I remember going to this local park that was up in the hills, and it was actually in a fairly progressive place within my deep red state. Mind you, deep red state. Like, hillbilly red state. I actually went jogging in my skirt, which wasn't exactly the most athletic thing to wear. It did feel really good, though. I liked it a lot. I did get a couple of stares, but It's mostly probably because I was wearing a skirt jogging than anything. And, I was actually wearing my sports bra and stuff with some padding. So, I was presenting way more femme. But again, nothing really happened. Whenever I go out, like, I understand I'm not exactly in, like, a bad area. I'm kind of in an area where people just mind their own dang business. And I do understand that there is other places in the world where you have to be careful, like, how you present, because maybe it's just a lot more sketchy. So I am kind of privileged in that way. But I'm still in my head all the time about, like, oh, these people are going to judge me, or they're going to do something or whatever. So I still have that heightened sense of awareness no matter where I go. I choose out of spite to be myself anymore. I don't want to be who I was before, and I feel joy in doing that. And anymore when I go out, honestly, I feel like I'm giving the middle finger to every bigot that I've ever heard or seen, because it's just like every time I go out and do something, I feel like I'm reclaiming my life again, because I experienced so much hurt, and I've lost so much of myself over the last year that I'm reclaiming myself. And I feel joy in just doing that. I feel joy in just presenting as myself on the daily and going out and doing these things as Jenny. It's bringing parts of myself back, and that brings me joy in itself. And of course, there's the big one, the body changes. Yeah. Every time I see my body change, it's like, yes, there's more of it. There's more of the booba. There's more of it. Yes. There's more to show off. There's more to flick in the face of the bigots. There's more for me to do stuff with that I can't talk about on YouTube. You get the gist. And I also look prettier every time it gets bigger. So, yeah. Anyway. I talk about this in the most, like, ooey way possible. Like, I can't help it. It's who I am, okay? Another way that I do experience joy is becoming more myself in my head, and the way that I express myself, like the way that I talk, the way that I move, just the way that I experience life in general has changed so much. It's like I'm a much happier person now because I'm allowing myself to be who I want to be. Because, okay, the way it started out is I had a whole bunch of anxiety about people who were judging me, which I don't know if that was the case or not, but it was something that was constantly going through my head. Okay, I got past that. Okay, but now how do I express myself? Okay, so I tried to go towards, like, feminine stereotypes. It didn't fit too terribly well. I went more towards the tomgirl feminine traits. I like that a lot. But then I felt the pressure to go back to the feminine traits and start doing more of my girl voice and stuff, and, like, forcing myself to do this. And it felt like I was going a bit too far. So I went back to more of the tomgirl stuff. I do a lot of back and forth, but now I'm kind of in a place where I can present how I want and feel joy in the way that I'm presenting myself. Whether it's, because this avatar, and it's not super feminine. It's got the booba. It's got, like, the feminine figure and stuff, but it still looks kind of masculine. But I'm also a tomgirl, and I kind of had to come to terms with that's okay. Like, again, nobody transitions the same way. Nobody's gonna be the same as everybody else. Nobody's gonna always fit the stereotypes that, society wants you to fit in, and that's okay. And once I accepted that, I start feeling a lot more joy in the way that I express myself. I can be however I want, however girly that I want, or however masculine that I want. I am a tomgirl. I can be whatever I want. And I take joy in being like that. And for me, it's kind of just fun to do stuff with my voice. I mean, when you can go all the way up here and do the girl voice, and then go all the way back down here, it makes people's heads turn. I love it. I find joy in that. One of the biggest things that I am very thankful for and that I find a lot of joy in is my found family and my very close friends. Naomi, Daisy, and all of my other friends around me. Naomi and Daisy are my partners, and then all my other friends. Just, it's so nice to have people who are there for me. They make me smile. They make me laugh. They make me feel comforted. They make me feel like somebody actually loves me because I didn't have very many friends growing up. So having people in my life brings so much joy to my life. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be who I am now, and I wouldn't be as joyful as I am now. And there was a time where I got so depressed that I lost the creative side of myself. I used to do a lot of music. I used to do a little bit of animation here and there. I used to just be so outgoing and doing all the stuff that I used to do. Airsoft, mountain biking, other YouTube channels that don't exist anymore and or wiped off the face of the internet because they're just embarrassing. But I used to be so outgoing, and if it wasn't for my partners through all of this last year, going through all the hardships that I would have gone through, I would have never been able to recover from that because I lost a part of myself. And I feel like they've helped me reclaim parts of myself through just loving me and being patient with me and being there through the best and worst of times. And that is the biggest source of joy that I have, is them. Another thing that brings me a lot of joy is as the year goes on, we go through the holidays. And on one hand, it is depressing because I have to do it without my family now because I have an unaccepting family. Like, they're still there, but I can't be myself around them. However, in the spaces in which I'm safe to do so, I get to experience the holidays as me, Jenny. Everything kind of has become a first all over again. Going through the holidays and being able to express myself the way that I want to in places where I'm safe. It's not the whole time during the holidays like Christmas or New Year's or whatever. Like, I still have to be who I was before for a little bit, but when I'm by myself or when I'm in VR chat with my friends and found family, my partners, in other words, feel like my mind is so free. I am so free in those moments to be who I am, and it's like, instead of being constricted, I feel like there's so much space to be myself and to be happy. Even though there's still times where I have to be myself, the fact that I get to be myself at all is something that I cherish. So this is kind of rehashing a point that I had before, but not really. Refusing to be forced into negative stereotypes. Honestly, in just a general way of speaking, I stick it to the man. The more that I become my gender screwed up self, the more that I just feel like I'm giving the middle finger to every bigot. It feels so freaking good to just be weird in this society anymore, because honestly, it just starts to feel ridiculous trying to stick to normal stereotypes. So I personally have made it my mission to feel joyful every time that I say, no, I will not be that gender stereotype. I will be what I want to be no matter what. So, mwah! And I smile every time I do it. I just like, skarkle, spinny, right in front of their face. I take joy in that. What can I say? I've become really, really, really spiteful. So, some other quick fire things is clothing. I have gotten some clothing that like fits me a lot better. That's feminine clothing. It is cut differently. It fits my body differently. It makes things look bigger, makes other things look smaller, and it makes everything look more feminine. And it's just like I'm starting to find my clothing style all over again. Like, I still like black clothing. However, I got stylish black clothing now. Like, It looks so freaking good. I don't have enough of it. I'm still freaking broke. Like, I can't afford that much clothing, but eventually I will get my closet filled up, and it feels so good when I find like clothing that fits my style. It's just like, yes, I'm breaking out of the old me. Like, I don't have to wear like this freaking sad looking clothing anymore. It's like, it's so stylish. The other thing that I have been doing for a long time is growing out my hair, but recently I've been styling it a lot more, and I like part it to one side of my head or something and have like the line go, like having the hair separation like up the side of my like scalp here. It looks so good, and it's like anytime I have a good hair day, it's like, yes, I look hot. And I like flaunting my stuff around, okay? It's just who I am. I like flaunting. It feels so good. I used to be so isolated before and so introverted. Now I'm just like, again, skirkla spinny in their face. And then the biggest thing, the first thing that I actually got to experience as a trans femme, like, was at Anthrocon. This, at the time, brought me so much freaking joy. I was at Anthrocon, and I was in Dealer's Den, which is where they sell all of their stuff. And I was going through the aisles, and I didn't have my family there. I had 2 of my gay friends there, and I was around a whole bunch of furries and a whole bunch of LGBTQ people that were just so welcoming and inviting, and it made me feel free. And then I'm going through these aisles of product and stuff and just looking at all the creativeness and looking at all the cool little art pieces and figurines and, tails, paws, ears, and whatever else was on their displays for selling. It was the first time in my life where I felt true and utter freedom, is going out and shopping around people who were as like-minded as I was and didn't give a crap about what I was looking at. They weren't judgmental, and in fact, a lot of times they were encouraging me to actually buy some girly stuff. I bought my first plushie there. I hadn't had a plushie since I was a kid, and I can't tell you the amount of nights where I wanted a plushie just to hold, just to get through a night where I just didn't feel good or was going through a lot of stress. And I wasn't going to buy it at first, but when it started to sink in more and more, like the amount of freedom that I had and just how good I felt, especially since I was presenting trans there for the first time too, in public, and I felt so good, I actually started like crying. Like, I had to go towards a corner and like keep myself from bawling my eyes out because I felt so like welcome and stuff. And it's just like, I actually bought a plushie because I'm just like, I need something to hold while I walk through here. And I got my cotton plushie. Cotton plushie. I got my plushie Cotton. They're a trans-colored, weighted possum plushie. And I love them. They're like 5 pounds. Like, they got some weight. They got some oomph. That was an experience that I never forgot. And I do feel that way whenever I'm going shopping now. Even with all the stares, I'm still like, I'm happy to be able to shop for myself and to be able to experience like the joy of buying things for me instead of buying things that are stereotypically for guys, But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this rambly type of video. I hope that this is I hope this encourages y'all to get out there more and try to be yourselves more often, and in my case, I had to make an effort to experience joy to get through the depression and anxiety. It was a process, and it's okay if you are having trouble, if you're struggling with mental health and you don't feel joy that often, or if you feel it's a struggle, or you're going through something right now. It's okay. In time, you'll feel better. In time, especially if you make an effort towards it, you will eventually get through to the other side, and you will be able to experience joy, and you'll be able to feel better. It took work to get back to where I'm at right now, making videos and being creative and being able to actually focus and doing something, because I've gone through depression. I recently just got out of a bout of depression here recently. I've got my own mental issues that I have to take care of. Through all the work that I put in myself, I'm able to experience this joy, and it wasn't easy. Sometimes experiencing joy is not easy. It doesn't come easy. But eventually you'll get there. We're here for you. You're loved. I love you. I love you. You heard that. I love you. You're a good bean. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. But you know what time it is. Aww. I tricked ya. Oh, I can't stop recording. Oh, crap. I can't stop recording. Oh, no. Oh, got it. Nope, it's still not doing the thing. Crap. Why won't you stop recording?